All right. Good afternoon, London. How are you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. Can't complain. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Shoots, it's good to see you, good to hear you. And as always, when I start these mutts off and I say how somebody is doing after I didn't talk to them prior to, it always feels weird. But
Yeah,
outside of that, man, no, I'm glad to have you here. Just music is what's brought us together. Bro,
yeah.
excuse me. Music is what's brought us together, and I want to tell you, I enjoy your tunes, especially there's one, I think it's called 1,000 Hours. That's Thundercat, but you were playing along with it and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that was pretty smooth. Not only that, just there's another one where I think it's anime, or if it's not anime, point is it sounds real smooth. It feels like those tracks that I'll hear when I'm watching one of those videos when they're panning through the different animes and going like, you know what I'm talking about, like
for
the
sure, for
not
sure.
lo-fi, but yeah, man, your tracks are fucking dope. And so I I'm glad you took the time out to holler at it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no problem, man. Glad to be here for real.
How long you been doing music?
Music, well, music in general, I started probably like 10 years ago. I started with my mom
Mhm.
in the church. It was one of the mega churches in Dallas called the Potter's House. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's in
I am familiar with the Potter's
Southeast.
House.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's where I got my chops. And then producing wise, I started probably about 3 years ago, just like making my own music because I always would like jam with other people, or I did music in high school as well. I was in the band, so it was more
Mhm.
so the band thing, but on my own about 2 or 3 years.
Okay, okay. Actually, it's funny because it seems like everybody gets their start in the church. I
Right.
what was that? I played. So I started in like seventh grade, and I went into orchestra thinking that I was going to be playing guitar right off the bat. Because they said, "Oh yeah, there's string instruments and guitar is a string instrument." I was talking to a counselor that I guess didn't really know what was all in there. Well, all they
Mhm.
had was strings. So off the bat, what I played was just I was playing violin, and
Mhm.
like it was dope. I really enjoyed that. Switched to viola, and then high school got the guitar. Then I started playing guitar for the church, so I was able to play somewhere. And then we had a little rock band going, but it was cool because playing for the church, like I played for a church out in East Texas, and it
Okay.
was like real southern. So there was
Yeah.
no guitar there, and that's like I got to feel cool because normally what they're used to is just like organ and piano. So
You brought that secular in there, huh?
pretty much, man. I
Yeah.
brought the secular in there, and they was bopping it. So,
Mhm.
and after that, it moved like college. It moved to producing,
Yeah.
and the guitar then started to get dust on it. I'm figuring out ways to incorporate it back in now. I'm
Mhm.
pretty because seeing that you play guitar, I take it you use your guitar to make beats with it as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I use pretty much. I have so much random equipment, and I'm always like changing because I end up getting bored of not like guitar and stuff, but like I have a bunch of synths and keyboards and different things like that that I incorporate. But I start from the guitar for the most part.
Oh, so you start from the guitar.
It depends on what I'm doing. To be honest, I like to start from the guitar, but it can come from anything. It just depends on what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I'm playing, one thing that I really notice, and it's like how when you're playing, there's like a different input. If you're on guitar, you're strumming, so it's kind of like it's a different style that you might play because you're doing that. If you're on the
Mhm.
piano, you got more things, and even if you're making beats on the phone, like
Yeah.
it's something about that input that I really enjoy. Like you started off that way, you never know, like the sounds in the field might drastically change because of that.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
and so, okay, it's not just me. I was because I've been talking. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. And I was wondering if that was a thing. Like, do you do that often? Does the switch up and whatnot?
Man, pretty much every time I make music, I end up like so I'll give you an example with a track I was working on a couple of days ago. I started
Hmm.
with like one synth. It's a old school hardware synth. It's off to the side over here. Started just noodling some chords over here. Then I took a break. Went to go eat. I came back. I was like, "What was I playing?" I was like, "Forget it." Then I came back with another synth on my computer, and I started playing with my little MIDI keyboard, doing some things over there. And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." Scrap that. Another idea came up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is getting all of my attention." And yeah, it just went from there, and it's like a semi full fledged production now. Just working out some stuff, but yeah, it's can start one thing or start one way and then end up like completely
Yeah.
different.
I hate when that happens. Like I hate that you get a good memory
Yeah.
and no my bruh. Okay, so I'll be at work and I'll be in the
Mhm.
middle of just working and that tune will pop in and you're just
Yes,
like I can't
sir.
record it yet and you're
Yep.
sitting there playing it on repeat for hours.
Uh-huh. Every time,
And
man.
I hate that you wait to get to lunch so you can just be like, all right, let me at least record it in my phone.
Exactly. Exactly. But like the good thing with my job and stuff is I valet at various locations, but my main location where I seem to get all my ideas at is ironically a strip club. So I'm in like a little booth outside across the street from the club. Not across the street, but across the driveway. I'm in a little booth sitting there for between 8 to 9 hours, just like parking cars here and there. And during this time, I'm actually listening to like various music podcasts with like a bunch of different like I guess legends and stuff you'd call them. And I'll hear something, I'm like, huh, that's kind of cool. And then I go from there. I'm like, pause that. I go on my phone, I write some lyrics, or I hum a melody or drum pattern or whatever on my phone. And it's just like I kind of build it that way on the clock, if that makes any sense. That way I
Yeah,
like
I
when I
feel
get
that.
home, it's like there. I can just go, I could listen to the memo and then just get it popping
Put it
from there.
together.
Hmm.
That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
that. So just in case my lovely boss ever decides to come across these, allegedly I allegedly do the same thing. Like
Uh-huh.
it's like since I don't have a lot of stuff against me, where it's like or like I have a lot of control. It's like it gives me more freedom to like pause, hit a record button if I got a melody, so I won't forget it, and then
Hmm.
I'll build it like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything from the drums, it's crazy because actually I was talking I was listening to another music podcast the other day and they were talking about using like there's a either a program out there where you can use your voice and your vocals to do the drums so you can
Yep.
record it. So I haven't looked it up yet, but since you said yep so fast, feel free to enlighten me on this if you know about it.
Okay. So I have a couple different drum machines. I used to have I don't know if you're familiar with like a Kai and the MPC
Yeah.
stuff. Like, yeah, I had a MPC 4000. Um, and with that, I know you could do like there's a mic input on the back, so you would input the mic and record it that way, and you could hum like whatever you want in there, or you could say whatever word, record that, and then program it to one of the pads, and you could do it that way. You could literally record like any
Mm.
sound and make a beat that way. Just chop it up however you want it. Get it sounded like some drums or whatever.
I need to make sure I look that up and do that because one of the things that I have been brainstorming on is if there was a way to do that, not with just the drums, but
Okay.
then just the melodies as well.
Uh-huh.
Because in FL, you know how they can track the notes and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
Basically, you hum your melody out, get it on that little piano roll, and then go put whatever you want down. So
Yeah,
therefore, you're doing your process just straight up through vocal.
for sure. Like you could turn. I've done things from where I like I'd hum something or I'd find a sample that I like and I'd turn it into a keyboard, just or a synth like that in the
Yeah.
FL piano roll. It's just you get so funky with it. It's ridiculous, man. It's crazy. But yeah.
What do you use to make beats on?
Uh, FL, FL, and the MPC.
Okay, okay, okay. I was waiting for you to throw something fancy at me, like, because
Oh,
a lot of time, lot I've been seeing everyone using Ableton right now, and I haven't really figured out exactly why. Because I know FL has that slave drive feature, and that's like the one of the most beautiful things that I like. Because I use FL, and at one point I used Reason because Reason
mm,
had all these sounds at one time, and I'll just put that slave drive on there, man. And it's
mm-hmm,
crazy because that's like one of the beautiful things for FL for me. I love that slave drive features.
mm-hmm. Yeah, for
But
me,
I
it's
just
like
I haven't did that in a while. But oh yeah, my bad. What was you saying?
no, you cut it. I thought you were done talking. You could continue.
No. It's always a rule in my head. As a host of a show, it is
Yeah.
not my job to be talking. I'm supposed to be hearing from you, man. I ain't never met you before. You're supposed to be
All right.
telling me who you are.
Okay. But I was just about to say, the reason I dig FL so much is the workflow. It's super
Hmm.
simple, and I don't know. It's not like a Pro Tools or anything where you gotta really like slave in order to get the workflow down. FL, you could literally jump in from having no music experience and like learn how to produce in like an hour. It's just
Yeah,
getting it down is the only thing. But once you get it down, it's like clockwork.
yeah. Walk me if you care on sharing. Walk me what
Yeah.
it's like to. Okay, yeah, there you go. You know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I was saying, walk me through your flow. What will be your
Okay.
flow?
So if I'm just like at my little studio wanting to produce just for like the sake of it or for myself, I go in, hit the LEDs because you gotta have the RGBs going, bro. Uh, then I turn on all of my hardware stuff, like my synthesizers and drum machines or whatever I'm using, and
Hmm.
then I usually try and warm up a little on the bass with like I have a playlist that I like to jam to, so just to get my chops warm and whatnot. Then after that, um, I head to I head to FL and start looking through some sounds, and I start playing through chords and or if I have an idea already, I'll lay that down, record that, then I'll layer some synths over that just to give it some more color, and then I'll go on with whatever drums I'm feeling. If I want to chop them up on the MPC from all my records or CDs or whatever, I'll do it that way. Or if I want to
Yeah,
use like a drum machine, like an 808, the Roland, I'll do that, or just whatever the track calls for. You know?
I think that's dope. That's. Well, lately like you said, if you have a thought in your head,
Yeah.
trying to get that down as fast as you can. Bro, there's so many times I've left the workplace, driven home, ran up some stairs, immediately, plow, trying to get it out because it's just been sitting there all day.
Yeah.
And then like a lot of times, like something from school, like just bell ringers. I'll
Hmm.
sit down there, pull out the spread, and just start randomly throwing things and just getting the motor going. I like that
Yeah.
jam session thing. My brother does, like, he likes to do that too. Like
Hmm.
I like that. Get the energies flowing. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. For sure. For
Have you had any, like, what's your favorite memory when it comes to making music? Like there are times I'm in the studio, and you know how you just really make some really good fire. What's
sure.
I guess what's one of your fun memories?
My fondest memory would probably be like the first track that I really thought I was doing something on. And I
Uh
released it as a single. It's called Changes. I released this like summer 2019 after I got back from Cali. I spent a week out there to hang with like family and just to get to know the vibes and stuff.
yeah.
And after I got back, well, I made the track early 2019, I believe, with a bunch of like random Timberland and Pharrell samples that I had, and I would like I wasn't familiar with like an MPC or anything at that time. It was just when I was like really starting to get my beak wet in the music, or not music, just production. So I would like program it in the piano roll as if I were using an MPC, if that makes any sense. So it sounds all chopped and screwed and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I was the beat was going. I was like, okay, okay, we're kind of getting somewhere. And then I find this. I think it was either a synth or a guitar sample from Pharrell, and I put that on, and it completely like flipped. I was like, okay, okay, so we're actually doing something here. I could actually like do something with music and producing and whatnot. But there's that one, and another one would have to be on a track I did. It was a. Are you familiar with house music?
I am. Love
Okay,
it.
so I did a little throwback house track after listening to. Have you seen the movie Mo Money?
I have not.
You haven't? Okay, so you gotta check that one out. It's a little it's an early '90s flick with Damon Wayans and another it's a bunch of it's a Wayans thing and
Okay.
Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, they did the soundtrack, and at the end of the soundtrack, there was a super crazy little house track they did with one of their acts at the time. And I heard that, and I was like, "This vibe is so crazy. The energy is high. I wonder what it would be like if I were to do something similar." So I went into the
Yeah.
studio, and I started with my Roland 909, laying the kick down, laying the what's it called, tamarines down, and then I pulled out another synth. It was another old school '90s synth, and I started layering the keys on top of that, and then this one super crazy organ thing on the workstation, the Korg workstation. I started
Hmm.
for lack of a better term, just getting funky with it. So I was going off. I was like, man, this could actually do something. And then put the bass on it, and it was on from there. And that's something I'll probably release within the next couple of months. Just got to
Okay.
get the mixing kinked out. Yeah.
Um. Okay. So I take it you already know how to mix, correct?
To my standards, yeah. There's some people like how people like their stuff mixed their way or like you know. But yeah, I guess I know how to
Yeah.
mix a little bit.
I mean, because at the end of the day, it's all feel. It's all how you want it to sound. If you pick a genre that you want it to be cousin to,
Mhm.
yeah. Um, the reason I ask is because I always send everyone. There's this video. There's this really good in depth video. I think it's about 3 hours long,
Mhm.
and they play the song. What's this? It's a song on there. It's like damn it, it's like that song. It's a song about science. It's like, what's that song? I'm trying to remember what the name of the song was. Like, she sounded like science.
Mm.
Point is, it's a 3 hour video, and they play the same song over and over and over, but they
Yeah.
break it down to the point where you understand it so much that immediately when we're done here, I'm gonna send it to you because all
Okay.
it does is help your knowledge even more. So
So the mixing.
it's yeah, it's the
Okay.
mixing, and
Okay.
it's a part of an like a whole series. It's like if you enjoy the way that they teach, you can find other crap associated with it. But
Okay.
it's just yeah, it's good, bro. I keep it in my back pocket because it's just good. It's just good. It lets you know that it's a feeling. I know some people like to go by the numbers, and don't get me wrong, that's cool too. But creativity is always a little bit more than well, on my opinion, it's always a little bit more than the numbers.
It is,
So
man. It is. There's some people that can do both though, which is
yeah,
which is
yeah,
always
it's a fusion. It's always fusion's always good. Have you? What's your? If you, I guess, what's your desire with your music? What do you
good.
want to accomplish with it? What's your philosophy? I guess.
I mean, music is probably it is the biggest part of me. So it'll definitely be like at the forefront of whatever I want to do in life.
Hmm.
So with that being said, um, anything I can get my hands on as far as music goes, I'm gonna do. Whether that be like touring with artists, whether that be producing for big artists, small artists, local, doing whatever. Like I want to do it all. But
Yeah.
I can't really pinpoint a certain thing. But those are like things that come to mind that I want to do that stick out.
always ask everyone this that does music. Do you have any? I always butcher this statement too. Do you have any synthesia or no God
I
damn
know.
it! You know what I'm talking. You know what I'm
Synesthesia.
trying to say. Do you have superpowers that mess up your your perception, basically?
Oh, you mean like what? Okay, what should explain that again?
Okay, so for me, I
Yeah,
see colors
yeah.
when music happens. I see colors in different patterns. And basically, I got a homie who tastes instruments. When different instruments come on, he can taste them. So I guess
Taste?
what's
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That blew my mind the first time he told me that. I sat there and thought I was cool. And he started telling me basically that was like the equivalent of, oh yeah, I'm Gene Gray. No, but
I feel you. I feel you. But mine is sort of like all of that combined into the max. Because what I
Mhm.
do when I'm really like psychoanalyzing a track, I'll break it down from like a mixing standpoint on one end. Like I'll be analyzing like, okay, well that bass is sitting down here, but I can hear all the vocals are up top. They're sitting on top of it. I think of it as like picture like a cake or like
Uh-huh.
lasagna. You know how there's layers
Yeah.
of lasagna? Yeah, I'll picture it like that in one sense from like an engineer standpoint. But then from the artistic musical standpoint, I'll picture like vibrant colors or whatever color I feel from the track, from the mood for like I'll take like a you know the song I Can't Help It by Michael Jackson off the wall. You know that song?
I don't know. I Can't Help It by Michael Jackson, but I know Off the Wall album.
Okay.
Um,
Name a song you just name a song like a popular Michael Jackson song, and I'll probably like
I
I'll try and
mean,
like
Rock with You.
okay, got you, got you.
Remember the Time. Remember the Time.
Okay, perfect, perfect. I'm glad that you said that because I've been like obsessing over that entire Dangerous album for the past year. Like really like
Dude.
going into the album, like reading on it every day, just who did this, who engineered what, who mixed, who produced, just like but yeah. Okay, so remember the time I see like a orange.
Mm-hmm.
I get that feeling from like yeah, like an orange. Like it's like an orange mood. It's like it's not quite red, but it's not quite yellow. Yellow's super like pretty. Red super like dangerous. You know, red's dangerous. Red's
Yeah.
scary. It sits in the middle. It's not like there's some songs on that track or that album that are like super red, and then there's some that are like yellow or even white. You know, but
Yeah.
I get the colors from that, and then each instrument I hear it in layers, like I said earlier, and each layer will be like a different color or a different vibe, I guess, that it adds to the track. And then with that track in particular, there are different levels to the track as far as like dynamics go. Like in the beginning, he starts like, "Do you remember?" Like all quiet and stuff, you know. But then by the
Yeah.
end, it's like at the mountain, like yelling at the top of his lungs. So
So
that's like it's like the apex sort of
how
thing.
about because we're I don't know if you can see in the corner there's a thing that says watch the stream now.
Yep.
Okay, so I can't get to say this, I gotta feel cool. Are you familiar with the
Ah.
Joe Rogan show?
Yep.
And you know how you got Jamie in the chair?
Hell yeah.
Well, VZ is in the chair,
Mhm.
and this would be a perfect time for him to, because we're, of course, we're experimenting while we figure everything out.
Mhm.
And since you mentioned, remember the time, it'd be cool if you could listen to it and actually
Yeah.
describe what you're hearing while you listen
Perfect.
to it.
Okay. Okay.
VZ, can you make that happen for us? He might not be there, but we're gonna double check.
Do I click watch the stream or watch stream? Is that what I click?
Yeah, I'm gonna click that. Okay, yeah, he's pulling it up.
Okay. Stream. Oh boy.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if that's
So
a
I got the video to
way to.
analyze too.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Super
Hey
light.
Beats, can you cut it down a little bit? Hey London, can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, cool.
So the mood is being set.
I always love this. This is actually my favorite. It's in tie with not Rock With You, You Rock My World. You Rock My World, and this is
Really?
like my two top Michael Jackson songs.
Are you serious? Wow.
I am dead serious,
Ooh.
man. Wait,
I
what's
can't
yours?
argue
What's
with that.
yours?
Man, I don't know if I could. Man, there's so many, bro. But I
There's
like the
so
deep cuts.
no, you
Ooh,
say
man.
that, and there's one called Librarian Girl. Oh man, that's a
Bro,
beautiful ass song.
the chords on that, that's like, ooh, man. Look at Eddie.
I always thought this video was just like, this is the most awesomest video. Actually, I kind of look like Eddie Murphy now that I'm looking at this.
Right, bro. And I look like Magic Johnson. Shoot. Speaking of him, ain't that him? I think this.
Yeah, he's in this video. They had
That's
everybody
a,
in this video.
and that's Mike, bro. He had that money, clout.
I just thought it was so crazy. All the all the like this Michael Jackson used to make little movies when he made his music and
Yeah,
like music videos, and I love that.
that's crazy, man. My favorite, my favorite, like music video of his is probably Speed Demon. Have you seen it?
Speed Demon?
Yeah.
Nope, I have not seen it, but I'm gonna have to
You
check that out.
haven't, bro?
Bro, I
That's a
haven't.
really. It won a Grammy. It won a Grammy. The music video, I think. That was a
I'm writing it
really good
down.
music video.
Oh yeah, it's about to get fire, man. It's about to get fire. The other cool part that I loved about this is it felt like a Sonic the Hedgehog track.
Yeah, I get that. The layers and the different themes of it.
That
Yeah.
synthetic bass too.
Oh
Boom,
yeah.
boom.
Teddy Riley, man. Mm-mm.
I forget how cool this video is too.
And then, bro.
Like the Migos tried to do something. Actually, yeah, the Migos
Woo.
did try to do something like this or on this level, like make a movie out of it. Bad.
Nah,
Okay,
bro.
okay,
You
okay,
can't do
okay,
that.
okay,
You can't.
okay. Bad and bougie.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
No, stir fry. Okay, I'll shut up.
Come
Here you
on.
go.
In '92, who else doing it like this, bro? In
You
'92,
right. You
or no?
right,
I
man.
think the video came out in '93.
It's a
Come
holographic
on.
Pokemon
Look at
card.
him. Man, he's glowing. But nah, getting into it, it's like it's normal. Michael, he's not overdoing it, not yelling yet. Just on his little seductive thing. See? Yeah. You got the backgrounds creeping in, giving it a little bit more energy.
Yo, it's telling a damn story.
Yep. And then the chorus. Yep. But things I'm hearing, like from a musical standpoint, one thing I notice about like, especially this album, the drums and the snare in particular are super loud
Mm.
in frequency. It's just like trying to make a statement almost. It's like that's the most prominent thing in a lot of New Jack Swing. That and that drive and bass, the synth bass.
That's like, is that like the, well, yeah, it's kind of like the hip hop. It's like the hip hop is grained in that, and I wonder if that's where it
It
comes
is.
from. Because
It is. Yeah, this is exactly where it came from. It stemmed from this, man.
yeah,
And then you got the strings in the background,
now
adding that.
what colors do you see though? What are there any colors and patterns that you see while you're listening to this?
I see like I'm okay. I'm imagining like thematic things like something's rising and now it's getting there because he's about to start screaming, yeah. And now it's at the apex. I imagine like this. You see that background?
Yeah,
It's just like that. How they're at like the top of the world. All the colors are so vibrant. Okay. Look at them. But now, yeah, it's getting like that color, that orange. It's that. Oh, they're about to break it down.
yeah, he was the
See,
king of
this is
that.
the mountain. This is the top. Break it down.
Yeah,
You hear how loud that snare is?
yeah.
And then at the opposite end, the kick is super deep, so it gives that nice contrast. It's like we're up here and we're
Mm,
down there at the same time. It's just going all over the place, but in a good way.
you can't deny
And
that
the bass,
movement.
come on.
It feels that spectrum. That's what. Yeah, that's what. It gives you all of that and a lot more.
There's so much. There's so many layers as far as like the percussion and stuff goes in this song. Because there's like pew, pew, pew. I don't know if you can hear it in between the snare and the kick.
I can hear it. But are you talking about the? Hold on. Because I always love when it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to hear.
I wonder if are you referencing the horns that or that flute?
No, no,
It's
no,
like
no,
a
no, no. It's like hold on. It's super faint, but
I'm
when
gonna
I'm
have to
like
listen to
listening in
this.
the car, I can hear it. Yeah, you gotta. You can't really hear it now.
Yeah, what's that? You got to pull
Or
out the
like
good
this.
headphones for that one.
Oh yeah, you gotta go in on it. But yeah, this is the climax, the top of the picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's just adding to it with his ad libs. They're just adding that extraness
building
to it
that fire.
to make over the top. This is probably my favorite part of the song
This
too.
is yeah.
And it just leaves you wanting more almost. I'm like, man, why'd you stop?
I give you that. You're right. It does that. It brings you in for the rest of the adventure. Yeah,
That's what his vocal, that screaming did. Cause it was like he didn't give it to you right away. It brought you there gradually.
yeah. See if I can back out of the. Okay, okay. Uh, that's it. It's
Yeah.
crazy how animated, how big of an adventure he leaves you with, and
Yeah.
it's so. My question for you is:
Mhm.
have you figured out where the I'm trying to figure out the pronunciation of it too because I hate butchering it.
Mhm.
When I get off, I need to just go to Google and play Synet. It's either Synesthesia or Synthesia. I need to
That's
just play it for,
I think it's synesthesia.
and we're gonna say yes because we're gonna just do that today. But I I've been going through my mind trying to route where it came from. I don't know if it's
Mhm.
if it's something it's just something that happens or if it's something in childhood that sparks up and then it just becomes a thing. And for me, I always look it back with Sonic the Hedgehog because on Sonic the Hedgehog 2, one of the things that happened for me was, they'll play the music, and one of the big contrasts in the games was you would be on a level that's in the daytime on one level, and then it'll be all charming and pretty and whatever, like Emerald Hill. I don't know if you're familiar with Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and they'll have all this
Hmm.
upbeat, happy, like this just this real good groove. And then come the next
Yeah.
level, they take it to a dark stage with another different tone, and it just felt like it fit, and it just
The
became one of those
vibe. Yeah.
things. Yeah, and I'm wondering if that stemmed from that as a kid, seeing that, and now when I listen to music, if I hear it in B flat, it's automatically blue. It's just I don't
Ah,
know why
got
that
you.
is.
Yeah. It's like the I don't know, certain chords and certain keys kind of evoke that the color shift, like certain songs make you think of like times of the day. Like I may think of like a sunset tune, or I may think of like a midnight sort of thing, because
Hmm.
like once you, or it depends on like the genre of music as well, like rap versus R&B versus classical versus jazz or whatever, and they all
Yeah,
have their different things. But I think it probably does. I'm for sure it stems from like a childhood thing, like things you listened to as a kid, and then you kind of like took that and grew with it and attributed it to like different songs you listen to.
I can see that. I can see that, and it stays with you. So, um, two random fucking thought bubbles. There's a song by Bruno Mars called "Baby."
Uh oh,
Dang,
Treasure.
I can't. Yeah, there you
Love
go. You
Treasure.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So, Love Treasure,
That's like
Love Treasure.
yeah, yeah.
Hate the video
Ah,
because the song is blue for me, but all they're doing is playing all these golden lights, and it bothers me throughout the
yeah.
whole entire
Okay.
thing.
Why is it blue though? Why do you think it's blue?
Well,
I get.
so I perceive it.
Hmm,
I perceive that color as like this little, not even royal blue. It's like an indigo. It starts mating with purple.
really,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Oh, I get a different vibe from it, bro. I
And I think
mean,
that's great. I think that's great.
but with the color, are you thinking like purple being like mellow, or is purple? What's the color for you?
so so it's like a whew, it's like a blue, but when I say blue, I'm thinking like it's past royal. It is definitely past royal. Um, you're in the purple range, but there's like it's like a glow of blue. The hue is like blue on top of indigo, and it's not deep
Okay,
purple. It's that right there in between, and it's
okay.
it's crazy because that's the best way I can describe it. It's purple with a blue hue.
And does the song make you like what I'm saying is like, does a purple song make you happy or sad,
It
or
makes me
do
happy.
you not connect?
I
Really?
do connect them. I do connect them because purple is associated with like that right there on that spectrum. It's associated with me for like a good time and some form of weirdness. I don't know. It just feels like
Oh,
treasure. Where if you get into it's a different type of blue. If it's like straight up just blue by itself or a deep dark blue, maybe I'm in a well, because I was thinking about Drake songs, and for me, Drake songs they're just always like they're cool, but they have sadness for me sometimes, and I think that's because I'm revisiting memories. But like it's like
same.
a certain blue. Um,
Okay.
I'm trying to like. Are you familiar with Kim Petra's song? God damn it, what's that damn song name? It's a pop song. It's like dum 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 boom boom boom. God damn it, I wish I could remember it. I can't. Okay, I'm trying to think if I can figure out a song that just instant for me. Do you listen to any Fallout Boy? Did you listen to any Fallout Boy growing up?
I listened to a little bit. I didn't listen to a lot.
Oh man. Okay, throw
I
some throw some throw some stuff you listen to me at me so I can see if I can pinpoint something. Are you a fan of
Fall Out Boy
Naruto?
or I used to be, but I was more of Dragon Ball Z.
Did you at least know? God, I'm trying to. Dang. The other way to do this is to just play some stuff.
Yeah, just do that. Just do that.
V's, give me something to listen to at the moment, please. Sambo Master. Homie didn't leave the
I have
chat
to
for
join on
us.
my phone because my laptop's about to die.
Okay,
You
okay.
hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? Do you in that case, let's do the thing right now I was telling you about earlier. Let's pause real quick and bring the bot back, okay?
Mhm. Okay, sounds good.
Okay. All right.
How do I
You're
join
back?
on?
Let me know.
Oh no, let me. Oh, I got to type.
Okay.
Can you not text me? Can you just say the link? Like read the HTTPS.
What are you looking for?
Can you text me the server? Not text me. Just read the server link to me so I could type it
Okay.
on my phone.
Server link. Actually, I can't because I'm on the thing. Actually, I can. Send it back to you. Are you on your phone or your Yeah. Where are you? Where do you need me to send it to you?
My phone.
Okay. What's your number?
214 449
449
7699.
7699. Gotcha. And you should have it. You should have it now. Well, you know how that goes. You should have it soon.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Got you. Cool.
And we'll make sure you have your permissions that you need. And it's the one that has London on it, right?
Yep. It should be.
Okay. In that case, you should be able to just port back in because I already gave that one permissions earlier. The only thing that you would need is if you were trying to view from or like look at the stream from there. Let's see. Yeah, let me know if what you need so I can set it up.
Let me see. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, bet it cut me out on here. Good. Let me turn my laptop off. Okay, so I'm gonna put my voice on. Got it. Cool.
All right. And are you good to go?
Yep.
Then let's get the bot back.
Let me see if I have any extra headphones. Do I have headphones? I think I'm good.
All right.
I'll
I'm
just do
porting
it.
the bot back in now.
Cool.
Now recording.
All right. We're back. Let's see. V's, did you get something stream? Okay. It's this track here. I'm not gonna say anything with the colors. I want to see what you initially feel about it when you hear it.
Okay. go in the closet too. Oh, I'm not even watching. Hold on. Color. I'm getting.
Well, yeah. What color? What color?
I'm getting like pink, bro.
You said pink?
Yeah, like pink meaning like, you know how pink is a derivative of red?
Hey, V's, hit the volume down if you can. No, what would you say?
You know how pink is like a derivative of red?
Yeah,
And red being anger?
yeah.
Pink is passion for me. So this is super passionate, and I guess
Wait,
that's why I see pink.
it's super. What was the word?
Passionate.
Passionate. Okay.
Not like aggressive. I mean, it's pretty aggressive, but in a passionate way. So I guess that's why I get that color.
That's cool.
That's how I can make sense of it, rather.
So, for me, it's cyan.
What is that? Is that
It's
like
it's like a light blue. Think it's like crap. I'm trying to think of, because if you are you familiar with the CMG chart? It's like the cyan, magenta, and
vaguely? I know like the primaries.
think think turquoise, but a little bit lighter, more blue than it is green. Take the green out a little bit.
I got you.
And what's crazy is you said pink, because it depends, because like as I've grown, it kind of has evolved where it's colors, but then also like patterns and shit, like a little waves of stuff will come in. And if you really go for it, sometimes it'll go cyan with hints of pink and gold in it.
Okay.
And for me, this one's more in the cyan area, but I don't know what it is. It's something about that color and that feeling. It's just, it feels like cyan to me.
Got you. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Huh. I can see it. I'm trying to picture it. Is this J-pop?
It is.
Okay,
or K-pop.
I love J-pop, bro. I love like late 70s, early 80s, like Yellow Magic.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Do you like Ari? Are you familiar with Henri?
A little bit.
Dude, that summertime album, or it's something summer. That album is just like, whoo! It is the best thing that I had to send you a link. It's some of the best shit ever.
My favorite J-pop album is probably, it's an album by, I think he was the drummer for Yellow Magic. It's called Sarava, and I think that's French. I can't remember what it's French for, but I don't know why. I can't really understand anything he's saying on it, but it just
we're not supposed to.
It spoke to me even though I couldn't speak it. It spoke to me.
You know, what I wonder, and me and V's have been wondering about this forever. What is it that I just can't capture? It's like it's a certain vibe, it's a certain energy that they give off. This just K-pop in general, that music. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I'm stumbling because I can't seem to figure out and put my finger on what to call what it is. Is the energy? Is it the emotion? Is it the adventure? Or I just can't figure. So, to end that, what's your thought on it? What is it that makes that music so good?
I know exactly what it is, bro. It's the same thing that we've been discussing, the synesthesia. It's that the colors that you see from other genres or other songs. It's the same thing, but that's I guess that's the most important thing, because it's the thing that's speaking to you, allowing you to get over like the language barrier and all that. None of that matters. It's the music or the feeling behind that intent. Yeah, that's Yeah.
It was funny because last cast I was saying that I was joking about it when the aliens come and they're like hell bent on destroying us. We
Yeah.
just gotta bust out the tunes and they'll be like, you know what? I can
Can I
get
get
jiggy
you?
with this shit. Yeah.
I'm gonna mess with you. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
You know, actually, why it's still in my mind, the Henri chick that I was telling you about, there's a track on there, and it just makes me go, this is basically the equivalent of the Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like it embodies Earth, Wind, and Fire. So it's just, yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
I
I think
think I
you will
will.
enjoy it.
Since you mentioned Earth Wind.
Yeah, bro. I actually I saw a little debate online today about Earth, Wind, and Fire versus the Isley Brothers, and
Oh
I'm
man.
not heavily versed in Isley Brothers. I know their later stuff as the brothers kept falling off, but I mean, it's something about that energy of Earth, Wind, and Fire for me.
There's so much pound for pound, Earth Wind versus Isley's, bro. I'm gonna have to go with Earth Wind.
Of
Like
course.
Isley's, they had plenty of timeless stuff like Footsteps in the Dark, what's it called? Living for the Love of You. What's that song? There's another one that I sampled. I just can't think of it. Um, what's that called? But anyway, yeah, I don't think they compare, but not. I still think Earth Wind edges them out by like September alone. You got September, man. You got Boogie Wonderland, man. They're so diverse, and that's the genius of like Maurice and
Yeah,
one of their producers, David Foster, who wrote a lot of their songs and played a lot of like the keys and stuff. It's like that stuff is otherworldly, to say the least, bro.
yeah. It,
It just puts
it's it's crazy because when you're when you're in music, because there was a point where, and actually there's still a point for me because a lot of people dropping names on me and I'll sit there and be oblivious to the fact, but I know who David Foster is. You know, I heard that
if
name
you know,
before.
you know.
I Yeah, I know Maurice. You got it. Yeah, it's like it's crazy because it's just hearing those stories and the history into it. Like someone was mentioning about how like just going into something simple like recording,
Yeah.
the whole history of you can't mess up, you got to do it right this first time, or if you do, you know, you got to cut the tape and
Oh yeah.
then piece it together like we don't live in that time anymore, and I think that's crazy, man.
It's
Like
wild, bro.
uh, it's I don't know, well, so I've had many a time in the studio where I've had to like record something more than more than 50 times
It's
probably.
man, I've done. I probably did like 100, bro. That's no cap at all. Cause I'd be like, I want it to be exactly how I hear it in my head, and it's
Yo,
like, nah. My body's like, nah, we're not gonna do that right now. And I'm like, again. It's a mess.
I hate when I'm hell bent on some lyrics I wrote and then these or basically he'll be like, hey man, maybe you should say this. And I'm like, but I like what I'm saying. You don't
Yeah.
have enough breath to say that. And now you got this thing you rehearsed for like a whole month
Uh huh.
ingrained in you. And now you have to sit there and stop and just go, so I can't say car anymore. I have to say truck. It's just the most annoying.
It is, but in some cases, that's what makes like the magic in a lot of these songs. Like I
Yeah.
can't. I'm trying to think of a song, for example, that. Oh, what's it? My Prerogative, Bobby Brown. So
My
I think,
prerogative.
uh, you don't know My Prerogative, or what's a Bobby Brown song? You know anything about Bobby?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. Bobby Brown, like all I know about Bobby Brown is like when he was a kid jamming with the group, and
Yeah.
then what's that one?
Nah, but for example, like I think there was one. I think it was My Prerogative, where he was super steadfast on like how he was gonna do it, but Teddy Riley produced the track, and he was
I
like,
know that name.
"Well, I don't think you should say it like that. I think you should say it like this." And he was like, "Nah, I'm not having this." And he started cussing him out, bro. And I can't remember who it was, but they had to come in and kind of calm him down. And Bobby was explaining it to him, and he was like, "Man, he not trying to do it like how I want to do it." It was like, "How do you want to do it?" Versus how Teddy wants to do it, and he explains it. Teddy explains his side, and they're like, "Well, Teddy kind of has a point," and Teddy was like, "Well, yeah, I kind of knew I had a point." Legend has it that they changed it to what you hear now, and millions of records sold later.
Yeah. Dude, there's like so many things like that, because there's a song that I went to record one time, and it's I think it's called Confidence, or something. Well, it's called Confidence. And starts off like the entire song past the first verse to me is it was done correctly and perfect in my head the way it was supposed to be done.
Yeah.
The first verse, there's like a little mannerism. There's like one little mannerism that's done differently, and for me it's just ruined, because
Really?
yeah, because it's just like in my head all this time. I've rehearsed it, we've talked about it, but then we got to the studio, and I think it was something along the line. We were pressing for time, because you're on those blocks, and it was just one of those things where it's just like, damn. And now it exists in the way that it does, and it's just like it'll always hunt me. It'll always fucking hunt me.
Yeah, there are always. Yeah, I have moments like that. For sure. Oh man, but yeah.
Nah, man, it sounds like it was taking you back. Now you gotta share it. That's the beauty of being on camera. You can see this kind of crowd. If I didn't know that, I would have been like, all right, man, go ahead and just now you gotta share.
Okay, so the whole album that I released like a year and some change ago was just like a compilation of like beats and stuff that I did, and I kind of wanted to show my growth in a way. Like I probably shouldn't have released it because it was kind of unpolished, and I did zero mixing. Don't tell nobody.
I know. Bro, if your shit look like cheese, that's not right.
But nah. So it was like the third song. Everything was going fine. Smooth. And I was like, okay, this joint kind of smooth. So I'm gonna come back to it later, and then just keep it pushing. So I can't remember what month I released the album in. Like come August, I'm getting the track listing or whatever ready, and I'm like, okay, so I want this, and then I see that song, I was like, yeah, I want that, and then I just put it all on there, release it, don't think anything of it until after the album hits all of the stores, Spotify, Apple Music, all that. I go in, I'm like, I really don't want to listen to it, but I'm gonna listen to the whole album top to bottom. So I do that. Then come this song, I play it, everything's going fine. It ends, and I'm like, okay, it ended. Why is it still going? Why hasn't the song switched yet? And then like 30 seconds go by, and I hear like some random drum pattern I left in there. And then it immediately switches to the next song. I'm like, bro, I wanted to like hurt myself.
Yep.
Bro, I was like, I really just submitted this to like Apple Music and Spotify. And it's on YouTube for the whole world to see. And people like, bro, I love that song so much. I'm like, no, you don't. Quit lying. But yeah, that happened.
I didn't have that one happen that bad. There was a song where I had like a random scratch, and it only happens once in the entire song. So you know it was not meant. Like I think like the drums was like boom, do do do, and you don't hear it no more.
Oh man,
but it's crazy. It's crazy, but actually it's funny because nowadays you can just pull it. It's and then load it up again with the same ID number, which I don't know how I really feel about that. I kind of don't like that. I like when Kanye's first album came out, the one called Life of Pablo.
Yeah.
I liked it in the raw.
Yeah.
But then he started coming back and started changing everything, and I was like, nah, this ain't I mean, I get it and I understand it. However, I
Mhm.
liked it in his first take.
Yeah.
Hey, it looks like the bot dropped.
Bot drop. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Why did you leave us? I've been unexpectedly disconnected. Give me 1 second, and I'm gonna add it back in to see if it'll join immediately.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da. Come on, be obedient. It's not being obedient. Well, that's all good because I got to back up. I got to back up so we can just keep. Oh, look at it. Just wants to hop back in.
And
No, it. Wait, is it?
yeah.
It looks like it came in and disconnected immediately.
Okay.
Hmm.
Bear with me one more time, and
Right.
I will attempt to join in 3 seconds. Well, we'll move forward without the bot then.
Cool.
Let's see. Where was I before I was rudely interrupted by a bot?
My lack of mixing and your scratch.
Okay. um, I'm pretty sure it had something else like that happen before. There was a song that V's had mixed one time, and I know V's is a perfectionist, and it was for another homie. And if I'm not mistaken, either either we didn't put the hook in where it was supposed to go, so it got loaded, and it just like it was like you knew the hook was supposed to be there, but all the people got was the freaking instrumental
Now
part.
recording.
Yeah.
Oh, lazy ass bot coming all late to the shit.
Good. I didn't ask you to call me out on national.
Oh, my bad, bro. I didn't mean to.
Nah, but my thing is with that, I feel like low key, if we were like in the old days recording on tape and everything was harder, we would have to make it perfect and we wouldn't have to worry about like mess ups and stuff. Because how many like this wouldn't happen like an Earth, Wind and Fire track or Michael Jackson. There would be no mistakes and stuff.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, you get that with the territory, like the cream of the crop. But still, like even like regular people releasing stuff back then or lesser known acts and stuff like that, they were still pretty polished and not a lot of mistakes throughout. But yeah.
It's that made me, well, because I played with around with that thought for a while,
Mhm.
and it kind of put me in the thoughts of when I make music, I want to record it as if I'm performing it. So
Yeah.
that way you go from here all the way to the end. And
Yeah.
you know, of course you come back and you do the hook stuff, but while you're doing it, you just hit that button and you perform it
Yeah.
like you always do and get in the spirit, because you got to do that when you're out there anyway. So you might as
Exactly.
well make it a practice.
Yeah.
Get live with it.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna make a note with that. No longer am I recording one track. This, you got to keep that mud going. If you tired by verse 3, that's what it sounds like. No.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because that'll get your chops for sure. Especially with, like playing. Like if you like really going at it, bro, it's a workout. But hey,
Yeah.
on stage it'll pay off.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, one of my newest things that I like to do when I'm making just instrumentals in general now is I like to get the canvas set up or paint the scene, but then I'll get the instruments and just leave it on, hit the record button, and just start jamming out on it and
Yeah.
just laying down whatever the hell it is. I
Yeah.
I used to be real bad with it. It'll be like, okay, I'm gonna click this drum, I'm gonna click this snare, pop cha, and then listen to it for like 10 minutes. Like, oh, let me add this. But it's so much better when you just get in that mud and just let loose. I don't know
Just
what it is
over
about
in
that.
it. Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. Just let it like build itself instead of trying to
Yeah.
do it. And I have a habit of overproducing, but that just stems from like being a perfectionist and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
What's
Hey,
the
this.
definition of overproducing? Because like,
Oh, um, overthinking it, I guess,
mm,
and like getting too complex with it. I don't know. It's a fine line, but with me, I tend to link overproducing with like overthinking the track when it should be simple.
yeah,
You know, like some tracks that I make or that people make, they are intended to be like a simple like ballad or whatever, but it'll be like super fast, and I'm like, no, I need to slow that down. I need to take away the 80,000 cents and drums and stuff, and just have a nice little pad in the back with some keys, and then a nice little slow drum loop. But I don't know. I guess that's my take on overproducing. But yeah, it can be done for sure.
what's crazy is like when you're going into making like scores, and
Yeah,
then you're starting to go, well, you're gonna. I mean, it's not. It's like it's overproducing technically, but it's not
it's
because
not.
you're sitting there making everything from the bass. You got the horn section, you got your string section, et
Yeah,
cetera, et cetera,
yeah,
and like I don't know. I know nowadays, like a lot of songs are losing that those
mhm,
layers. Like what's that? We just listened to MJ, Michael Jackson song. All
mhm,
those layers in there. You got maybe about I don't know. Sound like a good 10 instruments in that whole entire songs.
mhm.
And then you go think about things like WAP,
Yeah.
and you only got boom, boom.
And then
it just
I had. But the thing is, it's like if that's what the track calls for, then that's different.
ex-
Like if if WAP were produced any differently, I don't know if it would have been as big of a hit as it was. And
I'll give you that.
same with like movie scores. I don't know if overproducing a movie score or or something like that would be doing anything other than what you do. Like if the score needs 80 horns and a full symphonic orchestra, then
Yeah.
that's what it calls for. You can't really overproduce that. You know, I don't know. It's super subjective.
Have you tried your hand at doing scores yet?
hmm I've done
Okay.
yeah, I've done some commercials, uh, just like short ads and stuff like that. But I would want to get into like a full scoring thing. But I know it's like you gotta live that life for God knows how long.
Yeah.
You gotta live in the music, like live in the music. You gotta like, man, I've seen it and what it does to people. Like Quincy Jones spoke on the score from The Color Purple, and
Hmm.
during that time, he said that's the most music he's seen in his life, and it was like almost dramatic in a way because you gotta live in the music, and it has to be up to the director or the producer of the film standards. You gotta like really, it has to be perfect, and it has to fit with the scene. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot, but I wouldn't mind doing it.
Man, do it. Do it. Sit down, grab a movie, and just make the whole soundtrack for it.
I would not mind, not at all.
It seemed like you're looking and thinking about a movie you would produce
No,
for.
I was thinking about I don't know why, but I was thinking about how Pharrell did
Ah,
Despicable Me,
yeah.
and how that was like he talked about that and he said that was crazy and a lot of work, and half the stuff he did was like fifth take or 10th take, but he
I
enjoyed
mean,
it.
when you're trying to make it right, when you're trying to make it perfect, man, and fit
Yeah,
that scene, you're doing everything from making sure, like it gets to a point where you're taking the snare and you're trying to make sure it's loud and it has a reason behind it. It's
yeah,
this low because they're walking around that corner. Like it's
yeah,
crazy at that point.
yeah. And it's for every single movement, man, or every. It could be from something as simple as like a movement to a conversation to like somebody's dying to it. Man, you got to be able to like really convey those emotions, or else,
Yeah.
I feel like he did his thing, especially with freaking Happy, which was
Oh yeah.
that was the second one, I think.
Yeah.
That one how many times platinum or whatever.
Oh man, I didn't listen to the radio at that time either. And so I had the beautiful benefit of just hearing the song, stumbling across it, and it was just like, this is the best shit that ever existed for me. Happy it's mixed so well. The energy that's there, the freaking because I like
The build.
it's all of that. Let me. It's nice. It's nice. It's super nice.
That's a gorgeous track, bro.
And
Pharrell's one of those dudes.
that's actually, if I could be taught by anybody, if someone, they said you get the choice to choose anybody to be under for forever so long.
Really?
Pharrell. Yes. And
he's done it all, man.
it's like it's crazy because like I always think about what a Sonic the Hedgehog game would sound like if Pharrell did the music for it. Like
it would be so lit, bro.
Yeah, man. Like it's just
you got someone who's done Drop It Like It's Hot and Happy?
Yes.
Come on. You can't beat that, man. I mean,
and that's the goals in life.
I'm not gonna get into that, but
yeah. Nah, I gotta ask. No.
Man, I'm trying to think of who I would study under because man. Let me see. Are you talking like producers or artists or what?
Bro, it just both. But I know as far as like, if I want tutelage under just a producer, a composer, because at that point in level, I like to put it on the scale as a composer.
Okay. Yeah, someone who's done it all.
Yeah.
In that case, Quincy, man. Quincy Jones.
I don't know why I felt like you were going to say that. Like, everybody turns to Quincy Jones.
Okay. He has done so much. Like, he produced Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
He produced Thriller. He produced Off the Wall. He produced The Wiz. He produced the Color Purple soundtrack and score. I mean, like, you can't, man, like, that alone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where the world would be without those projects and albums and stuff like that. Like, you take those away and what do you have? There's no best-selling album of all time. Need I say more? I mean, but even his solo work, it may not have been like the most like groundbreaking or whatever, but it's still some crazy like experimental, well mixed, like just authentic music. And I think I probably have like 10 to 15 of his cuts on vinyl and probably about 30 that he produced or had a hand in, So, I mean, what more can I say about him?
Yeah.
But as far as
I know my experience with him. Oh, yeah, let me not cut you off on that one.
Artist, I'll give you a modern artist. My modern would be Bruno.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Just to like, oh man, another thing, like his story. I know he started from like, he was homeless in Hawaii for a good majority of his life, to then make it over here, get signed to Motown, get dropped by Motown, then start writing songs that would end up chart topping.
Yeah.
And just taking over the world, him already being on top, and then coming taking over the world again and winning 7 Grammys in one night. I think he won 7 that night for that album. I mean, he's another one of those dudes. Him and Mike.
I get what you're feeling. I get what you're saying.
It's like, how does one person? I mean, I know he can do it all by himself, but like, you got to give it to him as a writer, as a producer, as a musician, as a dancer, as a collaborator. He's collaborated with Gucci Mane, Cardi B, and like, who else? I know he did stuff like Babyface, man.
That album, if you're even speaking on that last album he did, like, I'm not gonna lie, which one was this? The one with da 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 ba da bum bum.
That's what I like. Come on, man.
Yeah.
24K Magic, bro.
Yeah.
Man, that whole album, top to bottom, is like one of the best I've heard out of like the 20th century, as far as like production, balance, the mixing, just like the straight, like the choice of instruments and how period correct it was. It wasn't like super old school to where it was like, oh, this is kind of outdated or it would be outdated soon. Like, nah, this is like this is, it blends old with the new, and then and it's his own unique take of like, if Bruno Mars would have been, if this album would have been produced in like 1980, 89 or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
What's his take on that? And he brought in the best of the best to like take advice from, because I read the credits and I know Babyface was a writer on like the second to last song. I can't think of the name. He had Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis come in. He had, and his whole team of like I think it's the shampoo press and curl, his whole production crew, they're like insane, bro. So it's like, he's a different beast. He's a different beast.
He's came a long way since the Lazy song. I'll tell you that, bro. Man.
That man is on top of the world. There's some crazy artists out here now.
Who you listening to outside of that?
Now I just been like drowning myself in old school music. But as far as like new acts go, him, Drake, I got back into The Weeknd, and I really
New Weeknd is really nice. New Weeknd is super nice.
Weeknd is incredible, and why? I think it's because
he stopped singing the same note.
That, and his producer is the same guy who did NSYNC and Backstreet and a bunch of other like crazy early 2000s, late 90s acts that were like extremely successful. But yeah, he's on top of the world. I've been listening to Childish Gambino.
Oh yeah,
he's another super incredibly talented, crazy, creative.
Not to mention that the dude that's behind also the music,
Ludwig.
Yes, bro. Ludwig has coming from Community, going to helping Bino, going to Creed, going to
Black Panther.
Yes, The Mandalorian, bro. Ludwig, that's another one. Okay, if I had to get, I would want to do some teachings with him. Yeah.
I would study behind him. I would definitely study under him. He is, man.
He's I don't know. He gets it. It's like that energy is there, that adventure is there, everything from like designing the sounds. Like if you go back to Creed, there's a sound in Creed where it's like whoo, and then it's like he adds the reverb and all of it. It's like whoo, and it's just like it captures you. It captures everything in that moment. You feel it. And
yeah, Ludwig's pretty nice.
Oh man, who are some other really good? Who are your favorite like producers or whatever out there now?
Let's see. Right now, we just mentioned them.
Right.
I'm trying to think of some other. What's in my back catalog? I will always love and hate Kanye. So the reason I hate Kanye, it's like a petty hate. there's a song called Paranoid. And for the longest, it's the one that's like, he's like, baby, don't worry about it. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So my problem with that song is it's so great. I love that song. And then when you listen to the actual song, you can make that song your fucking self, and it's a fucking sample. And it always just pissed me off. Like that just always pissed me off.
Man, I hate when songs are super reliant on the sample. Like that's like it, and there's no other substance to it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna just rely super heavily on the sample. In some cases it works, but some is just like, bro. And then there are people that can take a sample, chop it, and like give it a whole new life of its own.
Yeah.
That's what I dig. But I mean, shoot, even like what's a song that has like a crazy sample loop in the background that's like popular that you know of?
Well, shit. When they did the Kill Bill song and used that, I ain't gonna lie, I thought that was pretty damn dope. Chill Bill was pretty fire.
Yeah, if you're creative with it, I can't even front you. But I don't know. You just got to be creative. There has to be like a love and a passion for like the art
Yeah.
and the music. You can't just like, oh, I'm gonna take XYZ sample and just do it for the culture. Like, nah, why'd you pick the sample? What does it mean to you? And just go from there. I don't know. I'm a hater, bro.
Bro, I gotta show you some shit. So I stopped sampling because of, well, business wise. Like I stopped sampling for part of that reason. Yeah, I want my money.
Giving it away,
um,
bro.
the other thing is I like what Pharrell does. I
Yeah.
like tributes. I like tributes to songs.
Mhm.
Like I thought that was beautiful. That song they got in trouble for, Blurred Lines.
I was listening to that yesterday, bro.
I love the fact that that song's like a tribute. It's not even a sample. It's a fucking tribute. They should not have lost that.
6 million later, and they fine with it. They just after that money, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like they didn't need to. That song, like I get what they're trying to, what they were saying. Like it does capture that feel, but I think there should be some kind of, like, you should be able to make a tribute to a song without it being okay. You gotta pay me.
It's not like he like samples a song or took it. It'll be literally like how Bruno did like the whole album, how it captured a feel of like
Exactly.
80s or early 90s New Jack Swing or whatever. You can't copyright a feeling, in my opinion. Like if someone were to do that to my songs, if they were to take inspiration from like something I did, I'd be like, okay, I
Yeah.
appreciate that. But I don't know, bro. I don't that estate. I don't know. I feel like they were just after money. If
You know
Marvin
what?
was alive, I don't think he'd have an issue with it. I mean,
I
in
don't
my
think he
opinion,
would either. I think Marvin would be like, "What's good, man? You did a good
yeah,
ass job." You
Pharrell,
know what?
Pharrell ain't after, bro. Chill out, man. Pharrell's okay. It's not like
I
he's not. He ain't
I need
stuck
to
like
make a note now because of this. I need to make sure I have an agreement for my kids after I die. If they do some whole shit like that,
bro. Don't sell me out, man. Y'all need to quit. Nah, it ain't all about the money, bro. It ain't all
it's
about
not. Get out there and make your music yourself. Don't be a little bit.
exactly. Just come on, man.
I know.
Oh,
With the what's that? There was what's a good sample. Like Kanye, just the fact that, like I said, every freaking track is a sample. It's
yeah,
beautiful. The go, I like the concept of, what was it? He said something along the lines of like genius is still music, or it was something along those lines. The
yeah.
real artists use the other people's music to make the next music, and I like that. I like
Yeah,
that, but I still, for real, like I said, I like tributes. I like pushing the marker forward as well. I want to be the shit they sample in the future. You know?
one group I really dig who kind of did the whole capture the whole feeling thing. I don't know if you're familiar with the Digital Underground.
I'm not.
You're not? Oh crap. Well, they did a super popular early '90s song called "The Humpy Dance,"
Mhm.
uh, and the whole point of this group was like, uh, same with a lot of early '90s hip hop, late '80s. They were trying to capture the feeling of the P-Funk, the George Clinton, the whole Parliament Funkadelic, that whole scene, that whole vibe.
Yeah.
And even George Clinton himself, he said he really liked what they did with the whole movement. And he said in a way they were given the torch and they ran with it, and they took it further than he took it.
Yeah.
And in a way, that's what I feel like a lot of music should be, you know?
Yeah. I I I love that concept. I
Yeah.
love that concept. That's exactly what music should be. We should keep pressing the
Yeah.
horizon or pushing the horizon.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not the biggest fan of the newest stuff that's out, because we're in this
Yeah.
new concept of we want to make shorter music so we can get more streams.
Nah.
And don't get me wrong, I get the concept, because we started playing around with the thought, like doing a little thought experiment on it. What Another reason you can making shorter music is maybe kids are seeing it as like, hey man, it's a saturation, life is short, so you know what, make blips. And it's like, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
pow, just throw
Okay.
little blips out there.
Yeah.
I get it, but at the same time, I'm a big fan of, like, if my song's gonna be 12 minutes long, it's gonna be 12 fucking minutes long.
Yeah, true. You can't really put like a cap or a time limit on creative genius or whatever. If the art speaks to you that way, then just let it go.
Yeah.
There's songs that I dig that are like even a lot of Miles Davis's stuff on Bitches Brew is like 20 minutes long, bro, and there are only 4 songs on the album.
Yeah.
And that album did what it did, certified platinum or whatever, did the thing, man. So you can't even. I'm not with the whole like. I mean, singles work as far as like a streaming thing, but even streaming, I'm not even a fan of, bro, because it's not even like, bro. Streaming, this whack, man. It's whack.
Why is it whack, man?
You know why, bro?
It's a cheat code.
I could have freaking 10 million streams and only make like freaking like 50,000 off of it, 50,000 or something like that.
It's a low ass number.
Day, freaking 10 million albums sold. How much would you see of that? You see a lot of that. You see a lot more of that, bro.
Yeah.
But I is moving with the times, and we gotta adjust. But you make your money back in like merch, or you can do like there are plenty of ways, but dang, bro, dang.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's why your next step is to you start seeing people move to movies and writing film, because they know that the big money comes from the scores. I mean, it's not even just because of that. You're doing it because, like, okay, I'm passionate about making shit, so now I want to make some shit with my shit. But at the same time, you get a bigger bank. It's a different bank once you start doing that.
The whole sync culture, like syncing your music to like commercials and movies, TV shows, that's what a friend of mine put me onto. That's the real money.
Yeah.
That and like the back end production. If you produce on Drake's next album, imagine how much of a cut you can get. Like, it may not be like what 40 you'll get, but you'll still get a hell of a lot more than, and even
you can go get you that house you wanted.
Yeah, the back end alone, bro. The back end is, I guess that's where I need to get in.
Just do it. We were talking about sync deals the other day, and like, yeah, man, it's like when I say it's not a goal, but it is a goal at the same time. It's like it's out there.
Yeah,
it's out there.
I'm not trying to I don't want to rely on money. I don't want that to be like my main drive, but I want to make money, There's so many people making good money off this stuff. Like, I wouldn't mind making money off of what I love to do,
Exactly.
Let me get my truck.
That's what I always talk about. I always say, basically, it's not the money that I care about. I just want the resources so I can have the space and the time and do what the fuck I want.
Bro, like, I be seeing people with like so much gear and stuff that I would die for. Like, all this gear, it'd be like a $10,000 synth. I'm like, bro, if I had not a deal, if I had like some good back end money, or if I had more cred, I'd be able to afford it, or at least be able to or at least I would know somebody who, you know how it is, man. You know how it is.
Well, actually, I'm glad you touched back on that because I want to ask you because a lot of my homies are really fucking with analog again,
Yeah.
and I wonder, not even wonder, because me in my head I'm going like, man, I got it on my screen. I can get a
Yeah.
touch screen and just do it right there. Like, why such the push back to something real?
Bro, to be honest, I think one of the first people to really like get me into analog was Chad.
Chad's another, yeah. Chad was
Chad's
another
one
one.
of those dudes. I met him through. I used to work at Target with his little brother, and
Hmm.
he gave me the connect, and he just opened my mind up to like synthesis and like sound design and just a bunch of different creative things. And the thing with analog is like you have complete control over whatever you want. Like you could turn a synthesizer into a bird tweeting, or you could turn a synthesizer into like the funkiest bass ever, or you could turn
Yeah,
it to a drum. There's just like
yeah, I give you that.
there's no limits, bro. And then
I give
at
you
the
that.
same time, you could like there's so many different synthesizers and types of gear and shit where it's like what's not to love, bro? There's always something new to learn, or you'll hear new sounds that you want to emulate, or you may want the same synth or keyboard, or it's just I don't know, man. There's so many different like connections you could do with analog gear.
I might have to get my hand in that because I will say
Do it.
I do enjoy, like I was talking about earlier, I do enjoy getting down there and just playing it
Yeah,
live. Like it's a different aesthetic compared to
yeah.
just clicking. So I might have to just send out a little Christmas request to some people. I need a synthetic. No, no.
Nah, for real, man. I would do it by any means. And Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, they're your best friends, bro. 'Cause that's
What's
how I
that?
found like Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. That's how I found all my deals. My shit
Okay.
would be like literally like 80% off if you find the right deal.
You know what? Somebody else was telling me about that. Like even going to the old what's those places called?
Workshops.
Yeah, like people
Yes.
buy a lot of their instruments and shit from the
Literally.
thrift shops.
Bro, I gotta tell you about like some gear that I just finessed.
That's
uh,
exactly what they say. Finessed.
yeah, nah, I bought it, but I had my MPC and another synth that I found at another pawn shop. I spent I think I spent 600 on the MPC, and they literally go for like 1,500. And the only reason it was so cheap it was because there was like some slight cosmetic damage, nothing even crazy. But I traded that in along with it was like a $300 synth, and I got it was a $1,700 analog synth that otherwise I wouldn't have forked over that capital, but I finessed it. I only spent what was it, like 800 or 900 and got an almost $2,000 synth in return, bro. So it's been like a lot of trading and
It's
trying
a
to learn
different world.
stuff. You know,
It's a different world.
it's a different world, bro. It's a different world, and once you get one, you gotta have more. You gotta have more.
Dude, I've had a blast talking to you. Like,
Likewise.
I gotta shut it off. But however, what I'm gonna I was gonna say stay on the line. And actually before you go,
Mhm.
tell people where they can find your stuff, man.
Okay. My music. Ooh, that's kind of hard. You just go through. You can find it through my Instagram. My Instagram is London's music. London LONDON then Z music. So I think I have my link tree on there, either that or like a
Yeah.
SoundCloud. But either way, if you follow me, if you're interested in hearing like new music and stuff, just DM me and I'll send you some stuff, or we can collab or whatever. You know.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Hey, I'm gonna drop the bot and yeah, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions.
Bet. Go for it.
I'm still here. And let me add this. Cool. Correct, but I'm not recording in that channel. God damn, why you gotta be so difficult? Telling you, man, bots are like the new girlfriends. No. Hold on, V's. I'm gonna type in Beachcast. That should take care of it. And if it doesn't, but I'm not recording. All right, don't worry about it. It's being stupid. But point, bro. Thanks for taking the time out for hanging out with us and all that today, man. This has been really cool. I enjoyed this experience. It was great meeting you, man. I loved it. I loved it. Couple things I'll tell you about. This Discord can randomly get live at 2 a.m. So I highly suggest turning your notifications off. Well, not off. Turn your notifications to at you. So that way we can at least say something to you. You know. And then feel free to hop into anything, man. Like we just talk about random shit. Like we'll wake up and somebody's talking about the best Pop-Tart they ever had. You know, so yeah, bro. Just it's a place for that. That's what it is.
I dig
And
it, bro.
definitely share your music because like what I've heard on Instagram is fucking dope. And we would all like to probably hear it. So
okay, for sure. Well,
but
I got a whole bunch of stuff coming. So
hey man, fucking do your thing. Do your thing.
Hey, this new batch of stuff, man. It's on par with. I'm not gonna gas myself up, but 24K Magic, man, it's up there.
Hey man, I'm looking forward to hearing it. You know what? And once we figure out this whole thing where you can, because I was talking to Chad about it, where we can jam out together live. He was talking about something with Reactor, and then it lets you all basically play music at the same time together in a more synced in way. Maybe we can all collab on some crap. That'll be dope as hell. Have a whole jam session virtually.
I dig that, bro. That'd be dope.
Yeah,
for sure.
but shit. Later, sir.
All right, man. It was good meeting you.
It's good meeting you too.